Hi everyone, I hope you are having a great day. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about right plant, right place. We have all been there. We walk into our local garden center, we see a stunning plant, and impulse takes over, and we buy it immediately, knowing deep down inside we don't have the right growing conditions for that plant. Or maybe you're watching your favorite gardening channel and you see a plant that looks amazing in their garden. So you convince yourself, well, if they can grow it, so can I. How do I know this? Because I am guilty as charged. I have done this so many times. And if you ignore right plant, right place, nature is going to humble you. If you plant something that doesn't like your current growing situation, that plant is going to suffer. And it's going to show you by wilted leaves, scorched flowers, leggy growth, stunted growth, browning leaves, crispy leaves, yellowing leaves, leaf spot, you name it. Best case scenario, it becomes an eyesore. Worst case scenario, it dies completely. And then that's just money down the drain when you could have spent that money buying something that would have thrived in your garden and been beautiful. And I've got a few examples today where I did just that, impulse buying. Just because something looked beautiful when I knew deep down inside that that plant was not going to thrive in my garden. So I have 3 examples I'll show you today of what happens when you don't choose the right plant for the right space. Okay, for example number 1, I saw this lemony lace elderberry in a video and I was obsessed. I thought, oh my gosh, I have to have that plant. I mean, it's beautiful, it's stunning, right? So my local garden center didn't even sell this plant because it's not even rated for my zone. But I thought, that's okay, I'll just go online and order it. The problem is it left zones 3 to 7, where I'm in Texas in zone 8A, but I told myself, that's okay, I can fix her. I'll just give her a little extra shade and water. So the plant came and I was so happy. I had spent days thinking about just the right spot for it, already knowing deep down inside I don't have any. So I got off work and I started digging, and I was on a mission to find just the right spot. She was so beautiful all through the spring and she put on so much growth and just looked like she was thriving, and I was so proud. And here is what she looks like now after just one summer in the scorching Texas heat. And the new growth that you see on the bottom is only after it cooled down in the fall. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is Japanese Maple Crimson Queen. So here we go again. I fell in love with this Japanese Maple Crimson and Queen thanks to a gardening channel, and it looks so beautiful. And technically, it is rated for my zone, and it's rated even up to a zone 9. But if you're going to plant them in a hot climate, they need to be planted in morning sun and afternoon shade. Even the east side of my home, where it should have that morning sun afternoon shade, still gets 6 hours of direct sunlight a day. After it being scorched in the ground, I moved it to a container, hoping to chase the shade and find a microclimate where it wouldn't crisp up. And you can see here how that turned out. All right, so moving on for the hardest one for me to accept, limelight hydrangeas. These shrubs are one of my absolute favorite blooming shrubs, and based on their broad growing zone 3 through 9, they should perform well here. While they are technically hardy, the official full sun to part shade advice is a little misleading, especially in areas with intense summer heat and scorching sun, and in areas where it doesn't really cool down enough at night to give these plants and their roots relief from the heat. To look good year-round, these hydrangeas simply can't handle our afternoon exposure. For us to grow them, they need about 2 to 4 hours of sun only and need to be shaded the rest of the day. That's been my experience anyway. I strategically planted them on the north side of my home in the fall, hoping the early planting and committed supplemental water would see them through. because again, the north side of my home gets indirect sun and gets quite a bit of shade during the day, and that east side gets about 6 hours of direct sunlight a day. I desperately wanted them to thrive. And this is not the first time I've tried to grow limelight hydrangeas, by the way. And this is them all through the spring. And they were beautiful. They were thriving. They were growing so much. And once again, I was so proud. And then July and August hit. This photo shows the results of not planting the right plant in the right place. So these last few experiments with these ornamental shrubs and plants that aren't really suited well for our climate here has taught me a hard truth. I need to stop fighting my local climate. I am officially pivoting to planting native or highly adaptive plants only. These ornamentals are beautiful, but they look miserable in my yard. So what happens to these struggling survivors? Well, there's two options: compost them and start fresh, or try one last Hail Mary. And I bet you can guess what I'm leaning towards. Yep, call me a glutton for punishment. I am leaning towards the latter. I'm going to be transplanting them all under the dense canopy of the old creekside trees. It's a trade-off. They won't be visible from the house or my drive, but if the deep shade there allows them to recover and thrive, they'll become my own beautiful little secret garden when I take a walk. So if you don't ignore the rules as I did and you plant the right plant in the right place, it's going to save you a lot of headaches down the road. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And until next time, plant something beautiful. Thanks everyone. Bye.